I'm taking that high-rise condo and your elite husband who makes $130,000 a month. You annoying old hag. Disappear.
Huh?
Yeah, you heard me.
Who exactly is this?
His girlfriend, duh.
My husband's girlfriend? Wait, and what's this about a condo?
Yeah, that fancy high-rise condo you just bought, huh? Starting today, it's gonna be my sweet home with him.
I'm completely lost. What on earth are you talking about?
Come on, don't you recognize me yet?
Sorry, I don't think I do.
Do I really have to say it? I'm Danny. We went to middle school together.
Wait, Danny? Hold on, let me think.
Wow, I even introduced myself and you still don't remember?
Oh, yeah, now I think I remember. You were always bragging about being the tallest girl in class, right?
Yes, exactly. I was tall, model-like, super mature, and of course, stunningly gorgeous. Yep, that was me.
You did have that whole thing going on. But honestly, I've completely forgotten what your face even looks like.
Excuse me?
And now you, the tall girl from back then, are telling me you're my husband's girlfriend?
Oh yeah, Chris is head over heels for me.
Wait, Chris?
Yep, he's totally ready to divorce you soon. So I packed up my stuff and came over to the high-rise, and guess what? I could just waltz right in. So from today, this place is officially mine.
Chris?
Yeah, your husband, Chris.
My husband's name is Chris, with a C.
Wait, what?
Chris is my husband's older brother.
Huh? Wait, what?
Yeah, Chris is my brother-in-law, not my husband.
Wait a minute. What?
Oh, and just out of curiosity, which high-rise are you in right now? What's the room number?
Tower A, 3803.
Oh, right. That's where Chris lives.
Wait, so the place is right?
Well, yeah, you've got the right high-rise and room, I guess.
Oh, well, that's a relief.
Sure.
Man, I swear, sometimes you really can't trust the info you pick up at these reunions. I mean, it's been pretty unreliable lately.
Reunion? You mean the one from 3 months ago that I didn't attend?
Yeah, one of your friends at the reunion said Ashley is going to marry the future CEO and his salary is guaranteed to be $13,000 a month.
I think I understand now.
But you know what? It's fine. I mean, sure, mistaking you for Chris's wife is a bit of a blunder. But hey, I got into the high-rise suite, so that's a win for me. See ya!
Good evening, Maddie. Do you have a moment? Yes, Ashley? What's going on? So that woman who claims to be Chris's girlfriend just messaged me about her plan to take over the high-rise condo. What? Are you serious? Yeah, but since you'd already told me about the situation beforehand, I wasn't too surprised. How did that even happen? Well, when she introduced herself, it jogged my memory. It turns out she was one of my classmates in middle school. Back in the second year, we were in the same class. Wait, seriously? Yeah, we weren't particularly close or anything, but I guess she somehow found my number from a group chat from a reunion I had to miss. I'm guessing she got the number from there. But why would she even reach out to you in the first place? Apparently, she mistook me for Chris's wife. What? How on earth did she mix that up? So here's the thing. Danny's lifelong dream has always been to become a CEO's wife. Even though we weren't close, it was something she talked about all the time, to the point where even I knew about it. She used to say things like, with my model-like figure and good looks, landing a CEO will be a piece of cake. She bragged about it every single day. But Chris isn't a CEO, and it's already decided that Chris, the younger brother, will take over as the next CEO. Right, this is just a guess on my part, but I think Danny has it stuck in her head that the eldest son always becomes the next CEO. That's probably why she thinks Chris is going to inherit the company. Oh, makes sense. That's been the tradition, right? Every generation, the eldest son inherits the company, ever since your great-grandfather founded it. Exactly, so she probably assumed it would automatically apply in the next generation as well. On top of that, a friend of mine who attended the reunion casually mentioned that I married the future CEO, and I guess that's where Danny picked up on it. I see. So, a mix of her assumptions and some half-baked information led her to think you were Chris's wife. Yep, I went ahead and corrected that part, though. I didn't want that misunderstanding to interfere with anything going forward. Good call. Thanks for that. What about the whole mix-up regarding the next CEO? Did that come up at all? Actually, it didn't. She didn't bring it up during our conversation, so I didn't address it. Got it. Sounds good. By the way, where are you right now? I'm guessing you must have left the high-rise if Danny's there trying to take it over, right? Yeah, I'm staying at a cheap hotel near the station. Isn't that inconvenient for you? Well, not really. I'm planning for this to be a short-term situation anyway. It felt like too much of a hassle to rent a weekly apartment in the middle of all this. Honestly, I'm having a pretty good time here, so don't worry about me. Well, as long as you're okay with it. Besides, we're actually in the final phase of our plan now. The moment that woman decided she was going to hunker down and take over room 3803 in Tower A, she sealed her own fate. Tomorrow morning, it's all coming to a head.
Oh, nothing beats the morning view from the high floor of a luxury tower apartment. It'd be perfect if only Chris weren't away on his overseas business trip.
Huh? Wait, do you not know? Chris isn't on a business trip, he's on an overseas assignment.
What? Overseas assignment? You mean he's not coming back for a while?
Well, he might return for holidays or for work, but as far as I've heard from his wife, it's probably going to be permanent.
What? His wife? Why is his wife involved in him moving overseas permanently?
Well, they're married, after all.
Chris is going to marry me. That's the whole point. We're supposed to be finalizing his divorce right now. So if anyone's going to live abroad with him, it should be me, his future wife. And hold on a second, what about this tower apartment he just bought? Isn't it a waste of money if he's planning to move overseas permanently?
I think you should probably ask Chris's real wife about that.
What?
You haven't met her yet, have you? And it sounds like you don't even know her name.
I don't need to know her name.
Well, I think you'll have no choice but to confront her soon, so maybe you should start preparing yourself mentally for that.
What?
Danny, you remember me, right?
Huh?
Your half-sister, Maddy.
What? Maddy?
It's been about 10 years, hasn't it? Ever since you tried to take my last home by stealing my husband but failed, and then vanished without a trace.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you don't remember? You barged into my home, acting all triumphant, telling me to get out like you had won. I still remember what I said back then to you. All right, I'll leave. But just so you know, this house is under my name. And let's not forget when I added, by the way, my husband only makes $1,300 a month. Good luck with that. I can still picture that stunned look on your face, like a pigeon hit with a bean gun. I haven't forgotten that moment. It was priceless.
I mean, who would have guessed that guy was a part-timer with such a low income? Or that the house was actually under your name?
And here you are, 10 years later, pulling the same stunt. Haven't learned a thing, have you?
What? What are you even talking about?
Didn't you catch on when Ashley messaged you earlier?
Why would I care? What are you getting at?
I'm Chris's wife.
What?
After I divorced my ex-husband, I met Chris. We got married.
What? That is so unfair. You need to divorce him right now. Let Chris go.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, but this time you didn't steal anything. You're just stalking him.
Huh?
All those times you thought you were meeting him after work, you were just stalking him. And that 3803 apartment you're sitting in right now, you broke in with the key you stole from Chris's bag. It's called trespassing, and now you're squatting illegally.
What are you talking about? Chris left his bag open so I could easily grab the key. He was doing me a favor.
No, he just forgot to zip his bag properly. And most people, when they see an open bag, don't just take things from it. That's called stealing.
Whatever. Either way, this apartment is mine now. Chris's stuff belongs to me since I'm going to be his future wife after all. Weren't you listening? He's going to divorce you.
I hate to break it to you, but that 3803 apartment you're sitting in, I bought that.
What?
I'm a real estate investor. That apartment was an investment property. But then Chris's overseas assignment came up, and with the lease on our old place expiring, we decided to stay there temporarily for the last 6 months before his departure.
Are you serious?
Yep, and now that Chris is away, I'm planning to put it on the market for rent. So do me a favor, pack up your stuff and get out.
You've got to be kidding me. Ashley, I heard that your husband is going to be the next president of the company. Is that true? You have to let me have your husband. Honestly, I should have aimed for him from the start, but I ended up making a mistake and going after someone else. This whole situation is so confusing. As an apology for messing things up, you need to give me your husband.
I knew you would say something like that.
So give him to me right now.
Well, I mean, it's a freebie, right?
That's not impossible. With my model-like figure and stunning beauty, any man would fall head over heels for me in no time.
You did mention that my husband's name is Chris, right?
What? Chris?
Do you really think you can take him just because you heard his name?
Did you really think you can take him just because you heard his name?
I don't think your choice of words was very nice, but yes, that Chris. The same one you've bullied and looked down on for ages.
And it turns out that Chris is actually the son of the company president.
No matter how good-looking someone might be, there's no way I could develop any romantic feelings for someone who only brings back terrible memories for me.
If only I had known back then that he was the president's son. I really messed up this time. What's going on here?
What's happening now?
I was just in the middle of packing up my things and leaving my apartment in the tower, and as I stepped outside, I found my parents waiting for me. I don't really understand what's happening, but there's this black minivan parked outside. I mean, it's all just so confusing. They said something about me working at this company called Oniwa Group, and before I knew it, I was being shoved into that minivan.
Oh, Oniwa Group.
Wait, you know about them?
That's the construction company where your ex-husband, the one you stole from my sister Maddy 10 years ago, works, right?
What?
I heard that he took out loans to pay for the alimony and that you were sent there to work off the debt. It's also supposed to be a place where they can help you, straighten out your morally questionable behavior.
Morally questionable behavior? What are you talking about?
Well, it's also known as a kind of rehabilitation facility for, delinquents.
Delinquents? What is that supposed to mean? That's so rude.
I'm just saying the truth, Danny. You've not only taken Maddie's ex-husband away, but also had some sort of affair with other married men, haven't you?
Wait, what?
I heard you still haven't paid back the alimony that was demanded back then, right?
Well,
honestly, is it any surprise that you ended up being sent to Oniwa Group?
No way. What on earth am I going to have to do there?
Since it's a construction company, isn't it obvious what kind of work you'll be doing?
You expect me to do physical labor when I have a model-like figure and stunning beauty? Are you serious?
I don't know what you expect, but if you keep getting yelled at, are you going to end up becoming muscular or something?
What kind of nonsense is that? I absolutely do not want that.
I'm just saying, don't come to me with this nonsense.
Can't you do something to help me out?
I really don't know what to say. Anyway, good luck with that.
No, I can't deal with this. I absolutely do not want to go through this. I don't know what's going to happen to me. Why is this happening? Why can't I just have a normal life? I feel like I'm being forced into a situation that I can't escape from. I refuse to let this happen to me. I'm not going to let them dictate my life. I have dreams and aspirations, and this is not a part of them. I want to scream. Why does it have to be like this? I don't deserve this kind of treatment. I'm panicking. What if this turns into a disaster? I can't handle it. I just want to run away from all of this. I can't believe my life has come to this point. I'm so frustrated. This is the absolute worst. No. I can't do this.
Danny, believe it or not, is already 29 years old. Her parents had reached a breaking point with her behavior and decided to give up trying to manage her. They had been neglecting her for quite a while, but when she almost landed in a situation that could have involved the police, they realized it was time for drastic measures. They arranged for her to join Oniwa Group, a construction company, in hopes that it would help her straighten out her life. Danny, however, was completely bewildered by this turn of events. Instead of stepping into her dream life as the glamorous wife of a company president, she found herself burdened with debt and forced to work at a construction site. The reality of her situation left her feeling lost and confused. "Such a job could never suit someone as dazzling as I am," she cried, throwing a fit and causing a scene. It was hard for her to accept that her life had taken such an unexpected turn. She had envisioned a life filled with luxury, elegance, and high society, but here she was, being told to work in an environment far removed from her dreams. Despite her protests and outbursts, her situation changed rapidly. In no time at all, she was captured, metaphorically speaking, and thrown into a black minivan that whisked her away to her new life. As the vehicle sped off, Danny couldn't help but feel like she was being taken to some sort of punishment. She was overwhelmed by a mix of disbelief, fear, and a deep sense of loss for the life she had envisioned for herself. Now she found herself in a reality where she had to pay off her debts from her monthly salary while enduring tough training under the guidance of strict and demanding senior colleagues. The work was physically grueling, and Danny had to sweat profusely, often struggling to catch her breath. She was quickly learning that her previous life of glamour was worlds apart from the reality of her new job. At the construction site, the atmosphere was harsh and unrelenting. The noise of machinery and the rough banter of her coworkers filled the air, creating an environment that was foreign to her. She felt out of place, surrounded by people who were focused on their labor without a care for appearances. The very thought of doing physical labor made her anxious, and she couldn't shake the feeling that she was in over her head. I remember her first day vividly. She was so overwhelmed that she could hardly focus on the tasks assigned to her. Her supervisor was a stern man who seemed to have little patience for mistakes. He barked orders at her, and she could feel the weight of his expectations pressing down on her shoulders. It was hard for her to adapt, and the physical labor was unlike anything she had ever experienced before. With each passing day, Danny realized that she had to face the situation head-on. It was no longer just about her appearance or aspirations, it was about survival. She needed to prove to herself and everyone around her that she could handle this challenge. She couldn't let her past define her future. During breaks, she often found herself sitting alone, trying to catch her breath and collect her thoughts. Her mind would drift back to the life she left behind, the parties, the glamorous outfits, and the thrill of being the center of attention. Those memories felt like a distant dream now, and she longed for the comfort and ease she once took for granted. Yet, amid the struggle, Danny began to appreciate her new way of life. The people at Oniwa Group, while rough around the edges, were honest and straightforward. They didn't care about appearances. They valued hard work and dedication. Slowly but surely, she started to build connections with her coworkers. They shared their stories, struggles, and triumphs, and she began to see them as more than just colleagues. One day, while lifting heavy planks with a fellow worker named Hiro, he caught her eye and offered a supportive smile. "You're doing great, Danny," he said, giving her a thumbs up. His encouragement felt like a small light in the darkness of her struggle. In moments like these, she started to realize that she was not alone in her journey. Hiro had his own story of challenges and hardships, and he willingly helped her learn the ropes. He showed her how to use the equipment properly, and under his guidance, she began to improve. She no longer felt like a burden, but rather a valued member of the team. Despite the hard work, Danny found herself growing stronger, both physically and mentally. The sweat that dripped from her brow was a testament to her determination to overcome the obstacles in her path. As the weeks went by, she could see the progress she was making, not just in her work, but in her confidence as well. Of course, there were still moments of despair. There were days when the exhaustion felt overwhelming and she wanted to give up. There were times when she would sit alone, tears prickling at her eyes, reflecting on the life she had left behind. She missed the glamour, the excitement, and the freedom she once enjoyed. But then she remembered why she was here. She needed to pay off her debts and find a way to turn her life around. She couldn't let her past mistakes define her. She had to push through the pain and keep moving forward. One day, after a particularly grueling week, her supervisor called her into his office. Her heart raced as she wondered if she had done something wrong. But instead of reprimanding her, he surprised her by praising her hard work and dedication. "You've come a long way, Danny," he said, a rare smile crossing his face. "Keep it up and you'll go far in this company." His words meant more to her than she could express. It was a turning point for her, a moment when she realized that she could indeed find a place for herself here. She was no longer just the girl who had stumbled into this situation. She was becoming a part of the team, a community that valued each other's efforts. As she settled into her role, she also began to think about her future. What did she really want? Was this where she wanted to stay forever? Part of her was still drawn to the life she had imagined for herself, but she knew she needed to focus on the present first. With the help of her coworkers, Danny began to learn about the construction industry. She discovered that there was more to it than just physical labor. She found herself fascinated by the projects that they worked on, the teamwork involved, and the sense of accomplishment that came with completing a job well done. Little by little, she started to feel a sense of pride in her work. She could see that she was no longer just a girl in a pretty dress. She was becoming a woman who could take charge of her life. She began to embrace her new identity and the strength that came with it. As the months went by, she continued to pay off her debts and felt a growing sense of independence. She was no longer dependent on anyone else to define her worth. She had learned to stand on her own 2 feet, and it felt exhilarating. While she still had moments of longing for her old life, she also found joy in the friendships she was forming at Oniwa Group. They would often share laughs and stories during breaks, and she felt a sense of belonging that she hadn't experienced in a long time. In the end, she realized that this unexpected turn of events had become a blessing in disguise. She was learning about resilience, hard work, and the value of genuine friendships. It was a journey that was shaping her into the person she had always wanted to be, even if it wasn't in the way she had originally envisioned. She couldn't help but wonder what the future would hold for her. Would she ever return to that glamorous life she once dreamed of? Or had she found something more fulfilling in this new path? Only time would tell, but for now, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Through the ups and downs, she had discovered her strength, her voice, and her place in the world. And that, above all, was worth every ounce of sweat and tears. As she reflected on her journey, she realized that she was not just surviving, she was thriving. She had come to appreciate the value of hard work and the satisfaction that came with it. She was no longer just a pretty face, she was a determined woman with a strong spirit. Every morning she woke up with a renewed sense of purpose. She was ready to face the day, no matter what challenges awaited her. She had learned that life was not always easy, but it was in those moments of struggle that she found her true strength. In the end, she had transformed her life in ways she had never imagined. The woman who once cried over the loss of her glamorous lifestyle was now embracing the beauty of her new reality. She was learning to navigate this new world one step at a time, and she was proud of the person she was becoming.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.